Welcome you students. I come up with one of the question from action and reaction. Let me read out the question. Two cylinders of diameter 25 centimeter and 70 centimeter, weighting 50 Newton and 200 Newton respectively are placed as shown in figure. Assume all the contact surface to be smooth. Find the reactions. Okay. So this is the given question and this is the given diagram for us. This is how the object is arranged. So we have two cylinders, cylinder 1 and cylinder 2. Here it is. Okay. And number of contact surface are there. Let us try to take the given data first of all. Okay. So if I take the given data, what are the data given? Two cylinders has say diameter, each one of it is the diameter of the cylinder 1. I am going to take this as 1 and this as cylinder 2. Okay, cylinder 2. If I take D1 is given as 25 centimeter and D2 is given as 70 centimeter. And what about the weight of the first cylinder? Weight of the first cylinder is 50 Newton. W1 I am going to take as 50 Newton. What about the second one? Second cylinder weight, which is given 200 Newton. 200 Newton. Okay. These are the data given in the question. What we need to find in the question, it is clear manner, it is represented. Find the reactions. So we need to find the reaction. So what are the reactions gonna happen in this arrangement? We need to give the answer for it. Okay. So we need to find the reaction. So first, get into the solution and try to draw the free body diagram of this system or arrangement. So free body diagram is the first step. Free body diagram. Free body diagram in the sense it's nothing but the body which is isolated, and it is a sketch which shows the force, external force, and the reaction acting on it. Okay. So we need to show the force system and the free body diagram first. So for that, see here two cylinder is there. So one of the cylinder center is represented as O1 and the second one it is represented as O2. Okay. So always in this system there is a concurrent force. So what I am going to do is through the first cylinder I am going to have the cross line O1. If I take this cylinder, this is how the cylinder will be. Okay. And through the second cylinder center I am going to have the cross line just like this. If I take this as O2, this is how the cross line will be, and this is how the cylinder is. Okay, fine. And the next step, consider the first one first. If you are having the arrangements, there will be four kind of force. There is a possibility to have four kind of force. One is applied force, weight, reaction, and tension force. So here there is no applied force. There is no external force acting on it. Okay, there is no applied force in this arrangement. And what about the weight? Both the cylinder 1 and 2 has its own weight. First one is 50 and second one is 200. So for the first one, this is the first one. So from the center of the body, the weight gonna direct downwards, right? So here I am going to note W1, which is nothing but which magnitude is given in the question as 50 Newton. So we can take directly 50 Newton. Okay. So or else directly we can write as 50 Newton. No need to confuse here. 50 Newton. Okay. Fine. Now what about the next second cylinder? It also has its self weight, which is given as 200 Newton. We know weight of the object going to directed downwards from the center of the object. this is the center of the object I have considered, so 200 Newton directing downwards. Then come to reaction. Try to identify in these arrangements what are the reactions in which and where, in which place the reaction forces can be possible. Okay, so we know reaction happens when the body is having contact with the surroundings. So here at the in the cylinder 1, at the point of contact on O5, there will be a reaction because it has the contact. So O5, the reaction force will be directed perpendicular to the point and it just goes inwards, So at the point of O5, I am going to consider the reaction R5, which is inwards. And here at the point O6, there is a contact. That means the cylinder 1 is having a contact. So there must be a reaction force. We know reaction force goes inwards. So I am going to take R6 here and perpendicular to the surface, just perpendicular to the surface. If you have this surface, it must be 90 degree. Okay, it must be 90 degree. This is all. And next, see, look at this cylinder 1 and cylinder 2. There's both the cylinders having contact at the point O3. Am I right? So if when you are considering the cylinder 1, there will be a reaction force from the cylinder 2. Okay, so that particular thing we need to consider here. In order to specify it, what we can do is the line of action will be something like this. If we connect center to center of two cylinders, the line of action will be going in such manners. Okay, so in between this line we are going to represent it. Always the reaction force is just inwards, so I am going to mark this as R O3. Since it is mentioned RO3, just take it as RO3, which is coming inward. So reaction force for the first cylinder almost we have taken, and move to the next cylinder. So next cylinder, I can say in the point O4 there is a contact, so there must be a reaction force. Actually it is happening here, am I right? O4. So approximately here the reaction force will be, this is R4, which is directed inwards. Okay, and then when you come to the point O3, this cylinder 2 is having contact with 1, right? So when you are considering this cylinder 2, there will be a reaction force because of this cylinder 1, and it will be acting inwards. Already we have just taken the line of action, so just direct it inward to the center of the object. So we can represent it as O3. The difference is both the O3 which we have represented, when you are considering the cylinder 1, we need to take this reaction which is coming inwards. When you are considering the cylinder 2, we need to take the reaction which is coming inwards to the center of the point, and the difference is magnitude of both the reaction will be always same, remains same, okay, equal, but the direction of the force will be directed opposite in direction. Okay, fine. So almost we have taken all the reaction. There is no string, so there won't be any kind of potential forces. Okay, fine. So when you are solving it, I can say only one inclined force is there, that is for reaction force at 3. Am I right? So we need inclination or angle for it. If you know the angle, then we can proceed one by one and we can get the reactions of each and every particular points. Okay, so first just try to identify this theta value. Just identify this theta. In order to identify the theta, just look into the figure which given in our question. So now the diameter of the first roller is how much? Diameter of the first roller is 25. Am I right? 25 centimeter. And what about the diameter of the second roller, which is also at 25? Sorry, which is given as 75. So the radius will be 35. 5. Here the radius of the roller will be 12.5. Diameter is 25. So here I am going to represent the radius. So take 12.5, here 35. Okay. So which is the radius? You can avoid confusions. So in order to find the theta value, what I am going to do is I just going to take the right angle triangle here. So for that, from the center of the first cylinder, just have a horizontal line. From the center of the O2, just have a vertical line. And the line of action of the reaction force at 3, just have a what? You have to direct the line just through what I can say, which is just equal to the line of action of this reaction force at 3. Okay, so that you will get a right angle triangle, something like this. Now we know the radius of the cylinder is 12.5 and the radius of the what bigger cylinder 2 is 35. So that the total distance, if I consider or if I show the right angle triangle here, I can say this is the angle which we want to find, which is theta, and this is the hypotenuse of our triangle. So this will be 47.5. If we add both the radius, we will get the entire hypotenuse length. What about the adjacent side of this theta? Adjacent side of this theta. How will you find it? In order to find, I can say, see, this is the radius with 12.5. If I take a line from the center, this is the portion with 12.5, and if I take a line from O2, I can say from this second end, this is the portion with the radius 35. Am I right? So our segment is this one. So in order to identify the answer for this segment, just if you minus or subtract the entire distance from both the radius, you will get the answer for it. So in order to find the adjacent side of this theta, what I am going to do is from 80 is nothing but entire distance. 80, I am going to subtract 12.5 minus 35. Okay, so that you will get the answer for the adjacent side, which is nothing but 32.5. So now we have the hypotenuse side of theta and adjacent side of theta. Just try to relate it with the formulas which we know, that means sin theta or cos theta. Sin theta is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse, right? If you apply the cos theta, it comes adjacent side by hypotenuse. So we can relate it by cos theta, adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side is given as 32.5, hypotenuse side is 47.5. Now if you do the calculation, theta is equal to cos inverse of 32.5 divided by 47.5, then you will get, just do it in your calculator and find it, so that you will get 46.8 degree. 46.8 degree. So this is the angle. This is the angle we need to take here. 46.8. Okay, this is the angle theta. So now just listen me. It is 42.6. What about this angle? We know the parallel angles are equal. Am I right? Parallel angles are equal. So here it is given 46.8. Then what about this? It's the parallel angle. So we can directly take without any complication 46.8. Okay, always remember parallel angles are equal. So this is also 46.8. Okay. So now see, we need to identify the reaction. Okay. So for that we need to consider any of the cylinder. This is the cylinder 1 and this is the cylinder 2. Okay. So always keep remember when you are considering the cylinder, okay, when you are considering the object in order to solve the the question, always first you have to begin with the object or component which has the minimum unknown forces. Okay, the component which has, or the object which has the minimum number of unknown force, we need to begin it, so that we can reduce the complexity in solving the problems. Okay, so here comes, this is the cylinder 1. If I rub it off this cylinder, this is how the force will be, this is how the force will be, right? So this is how the forces will be. So this is how the forces. So this is the force diagram for the cylinder 1. This is the diagram for cylinder 2. Okay. So when it comes to the cylinder 1, how many unknown forces are there? R5 is unknown force, we need to find. R6 is unknown force, and RO3 is unknown. 1, 2, 3. 3 unknown force we are having in the cylinder 1. What about the cylinder 2? We are having here RO3, which is a unknown force, and here we have R4, right? So here we have 2 unknown forces. So we need to begin with a minimum number of unknown forces. So I am going to consider first this cylinder 2. Okay, cylinder 2. So in order to show this cylinder 2, I am going to draw the resolution of force diagram. So cylinder 2 I am going to draw here. Okay, so for that I am going to have the cross lines, something like this. And look at this diagram, cylinder 2. Here we have the force which is directed downwards, so we know it's a vertical force, no need to worry about it. So directly take the magnitude as 200 Newton. When you are having this R4, which is a horizontal force, no issue, we can predict it is just a R4, magnitude is a R4. When you are coming to the next one, R03, which is just an inclined force. So we know when you are having the inclined force, there will be 2 components, partially horizontal will be there, partially vertical will be there. We have to look for the direction. Here the direction of RO3, which is directing what? Something like this, upward. Am I right? Something like this. So we can say it is vertically upward and horizontally right side, since it is moving something like this. So I can say it is vertically upward and horizontally right. Okay. So first horizontal one, I am going to designate the magnitude as RO3, cos, horizontal force cos, and theta. Here it is 46.8. And here comes RO3 sine, since it is a vertical force, 46.8. Any other force? No. These all the forces are acting here. Okay. So now I am going to rub it off. So first considering the second one, because of minimum number of force there, try to apply the equilibrium condition. Apply equilibrium condition. Why we are applying the equilibrium condition? In order to identify the unknown forces. Okay. So here, as per the equilibrium condition, we know sum of horizontal forces is equal to 0, sum of vertical forces is equal to 0, and the resultant force is equal to 0. So first try to apply sum of horizontal force is equal to 0. If I apply it, just try to add all the horizontal forces. Here R4, which is directed left, we know the sign. If the force is directed horizontally, left side it's a minus, if it is on right side it's a positive. When you come to the vertical one, if it is directed to the upwards it's a positive, when it is directed downwards it's a negative. This is a sign designation. This is how we need to designate the sign. So here this force is towards left, so it is a minus. So minus or O4, which is or O4. Okay. And then here is a horizontal force RO3 cos 46.8. Where it is directed? It is directed towards right. So it is a positive one. So we can take RO3 cos 46.8 equal to 0, equilibrium condition. Okay. So now is there any way to simplify this equation? No, right? So we can just leave it, so that I'm going to take this as equation number 1. And come to the next step. Sum of vertical force is equal to 0. Try to apply it and let's see what happening. Vertical force here 200 Newton is there, which is directed downwards. So downwards in the sense sign is minus. So minus 200 and the vertical force here is R03 sine 46.8, which is directed upward in the sense it's a positive. So here plus RO3 sine 46.8 degree is equal to 0. Okay. So now just try to simplify it. If I do simplification, I can take the 200 to the right side. Okay. So that it will become 200. Here it is minus 200. When you are bringing to the other side of equal, it will be a positive one, 200. So now do simplification. R03 is equal to 200 divided by sine. Just do the cross multiplication now to find the R03. So that here if you do the calculation, just dividing 200 with the help of sine 46.8 degree, we get a value magnitude of R03 in Newton. Okay. So roughly I can say R03 will be 274.73 Newton, roughly 274.73 Newton. Now see, here we have R03, am I right? R03 value is there, am I right? So if you apply this value over the equation 1, we shall get the answer for RO4. So try to substitute the RO3 in equation 1. Substitute so that the equation 1 becomes minus RO4 plus 274.73 into cos 46.8 is equal to 0. Now if you take this RO4 on the other side, it becomes positive, so that if you do the calculation in your calculator, you will get the answer for RO4 in terms of Newton, which can be roughly 186.8 Newton. 186.8 Newton. So two of the reaction we have found. Another two more reaction needs to be found. One is R5 and R6. So in order to find it, I am going to consider the cylinder 1. Okay. So now consider cylinder 1. Here as well, try to apply the equilibrium condition. Summation of H is equal to 0, summation of V is equal to 0, and sum of resultant force is equal to 0. Okay. First begin with summation of H is equal to 0. So see here, this is the cylinder 1. Try to take the forces. Okay. So for that, draw the cross lines and try to take the inclined force. Here we have the inclined force RO3 which is directed inside. Am I right? This is how the direction is. So when you are having the inclined force, we know there will be a two components like horizontal and vertical. Since it is directed something like this, we can predict it is moving vertically downwards and it is moving horizontally left. So vertically downwards and horizontally left. So designate the magnitude. So RO3 into cos 46.8 for the horizontal component, it's a cos. For vertical component, R03 for sine, it's a vertical component, so sine 46.8. Okay. So here comes, we have 50 Newton which is directed downwards. It can be predicted directly, which is a vertical force. Just you can designate as 50 Newton. And here comes, we have the vertical force which is directed inward to the point O1, which is R5. It's a horizontal force, we can predict it. And here comes the reaction force R6 is there, which is vertically upward. So we can directly predict it as a vertical force, just like this. Okay. So now just try to add all the horizontal forces. RO3 cos 46.8, which is directed to the left side. So what about the sign? If it is directed to the left, it is minus. And then the next force, horizontal force, which is R5, which is directed to the right side. So right side, in the sense our sign should be positive 1. So here R05, it is not R5, it is RO5. We can denote it as RO5. This is RO6, RO5, and here it is RO6. Okay, 5. Equal to 0 as per the equilibrium condition. So that here we can apply one thing. See, RO3 which is equal, am I right? RO3 which is equal, when you are considering the cylinder 1 and 2, the magnitude of the reaction force is equal and the direction is different. Okay, so that's here RO3 we can directly substitute the value which you got in the previous step, which is 274.73. So just apply minus 274.73 cos 46.8 plus RO5, it is equal to 0. So RO5 will become, when you take to the another side this value magnitude, force magnitude, it becomes 274.73 cos 46.8. So that RO5 will be getting in terms of Newton. I can say the magnitude will be roughly R05 will be 188.06 Newton. Okay. So only one is remaining, which is R06. For that, we can apply sum of vertical force is equal to 0. Vertical force is equal to 0. Add all the vertical forces. Here the vertical force RO3 sine 46.8. What about the direction of the force? It is vertically downwards. Vertically downwards in the sense it's a negative sign. It carries negative sign. What about the next force? 50 Newton force, weight of the object, which is directed to downwards. Similarly, it also minus 50 Newton, right? And then any other vertical forces, R06 is there, right? R06 is there, which is directed upward. So upward in the sense it's a positive sign. So plus or not or R0 6, which is equal to 0. So now here just try to apply the value of R03 or R0 or RO3, okay, which is 274.73. Just substitute and just do the simplification so that we get the answer for RO6. Okay. If we do this simplification, I can say RO6 will become, if we take this magnitude of force on the other side, it becomes 274.73 sine 46.8 plus 50. Just calculate it with your calculator so that you will get the answer for RO6. Okay, RO6 value will be roughly 250.26 Newton. 250.26 Newton. Okay, at last you must show the result. So for that, here we have the reaction force just like RO6, RO5, then RO3 and RO4. Am I right? All these answers should be shown under the title of result. Okay. So I hope you understood how to work when you are having such kind of questions like two rollers or two cylinder in a chamber. Okay. How to take the angles and how to find the unknown reactions and what are the laws we need to apply into the problem in order to solve it. Okay. Thank you so much.